So this is what Tobacco Road looks like. I had no clue what the clubhouse would look like. It is super cool. This is one of the greatest courses I've ever played. This and Tethro are my two favorites. This opening hole, you go over those two hills. Visual intimidation, absolutely awesome. Love it. And this also happens to be, to date and probably forever, the greatest round of golf I ever played in my life, which was absolutely fantastic. Made it over those mounds. Fairway is spacious. A lot of the concepts of Tobacco Road is visual intimidation. So you hit into another blind shot. It leads you down to this area. And I had basically just a chip into this hole. Really something if you play for leisure. Get the yardage book that has the greens in it from the pro shop here, because it was really helpful. Landed this lob wedge artistically. You're not going to see it on that right-hand side. Killed it on the swale and gave myself a close putt for birdie on the first hole. Really like that stroke. And I got out of the first hole at Tobacco Road with a birdie, which utterly ruled. You're going to see these bells all over the place. Those bells are for blind shots. You ring the bells so people can see it. Second hole, forced carry. If you have trouble getting the ball in the air, this is not the course for you. Put myself in a good position, and what I like about this course is early on, didn't have to hit driver a ton. So I'm left with a sand wedge in, just carry this front bunker, and by just carrying it, it goes all the way down to the pin. Absolutely terrible camera work, but this is absolutely nutty. I'm 2 under par on one of the courses I've always wanted to play in my life. First time playing at Crack of Dawn. You know what happens on the third hole, which is protected by bunkers. I bladed a 9-iron right into that right-hand side bunker. Bunker's protected. I think they call this a Rodan hole from North Berwick. If you're super golf architecture, probably said it all wrong. I was absolutely astounded with the way I played this shot. Now, in North Carolina, there's basically like this. They're not bunkers. They're called sandy areas. That's like the cool thing, so you can ground your club. I didn't really like grounding my club, but I hit a really good bunker shot there. Now, a pro would pay that off. I missed it on the low side, but I'm not... Or actually, I missed it on the high side. Not mad. 1 over par through 3 holes. Pretty darn awesome. Now, this fourth hole, I didn't know that Tobacco Road had as much country elements to it. This was one of the most fun driving holes, just based on, like, you walk through. And I'm going to show you right here. Lukie shows you. When you walk through this feels like a really good North Carolina hike. And anyone that knows Lukie, and they know Lukie at the Links, I love a good walk in my golf. So that was a kind of a pulley shot that I pulled, and I gave myself a unique line, would you say. So by staying to the left-hand side, I only had like a 7-iron into a par 5. Kept it out on the right. It caught the downswell. I'm on in 2. Let's go, Lukie. There's a ton of sandy area. Obviously, this is one of the worst filmed angles I could have gotten, but I was a little in shock. You know, I'm not going to lie. But we knocked it in. What is going on? Is this Lukie the professional? That's 3 birdies in 4 holes. Now, this is a good risk-reward hole. If you go to the right, you can have a safer shot, but your approach into the green becomes more difficult. From the tee box in front of the tips, it was 233 to get it, to get the carry. I hit a straight tee shot, got over, and then just had a chip up this hill. It was fairly basic. I thought I almost chipped it in, but I was a little short. And once again, theme of these early holes just kind of paying off. Yet another birdie. Now, here's where the asterisk can come in if someone wants to be a jerk. I played through some people, didn't realize this was not my tee box. If you want to be mean-spirited, you could totally be mean-spirited. Round of my life, but I played from the wrong tee box. I was just kind of trying to get through this group, hit a wedge in. I'm thinking, okay, are we gonna go for it again? Are we gonna do it? Nope, misread the break, but we got in there, par. Pretty cool hole. Once again, another sandy protected hole with a narrow green. This is probably the coolest hole to drive on because it's just straight downhill. Look at how far left I'm aimed. Hit like a 310-yard drive, all roll from the fairways. Then use the slope on the right-hand side. Watch the Good Samaritan Lukie. I don't want people waiting. Nope, I rang the bell. I consistently ring bells at Tobacco Road. Look at all this nature you see. I never had thought of this course as a nature course. Terrible angle by your boy Lukie, but I wanted to get you guys to have a perspective of that slope. I've heard people talk about it and all that. Huge slope on the back. You want to be in the right tier on this green. And I was also trying to show you my putt, but the putt's kind of secondary to the landscape. Got a par. Let's go. That's what it is. This is a par 3, and once again, I played this fantastic, but you're not going to see it because I filmed it utterly poo-poo. So I hit, I believe that was either a 9 or a pitching wedge. I played so much golf, I'm forgetting the exact club, but it was a good club, just a little outright. I was trying to pull it in there, and then I make it. So that's another birdie. This is crazy how many birdies are occurring on this front 9. 9th hole definitely kind of got me. So I was really thinking, bro, I might be having the round of my life. 9th hole, totally should not have taken out the driver on this hole. Hit driver, could not see where the ball went. Got lucky that the ball didn't go into a hazard. Hit into this bunker, boom. Just had to hit it out. Didn't film the approach shot, which ended up on this hill. So this is my 4th shot. I know everyone's like, oh my God, you didn't film it. Well, bro, it gets complicated when you hit bad shots. It's easy to film the good ones. It's hard to film the bad one because you start playing fast and double bogey. So just like how I had all those birdies, all it takes is one bad hole, double bogey. Okay. Hole number 10, really, really cool hole. The idea is it goes out to the right, but you can't really take a direct line because there's sand and trees. So you have to hit a cut if you're capable of doing that. I can't really do stuff like that, so I don't know why I'm acting like, oh yeah, just hit the cut. But big spacious fairway, you get to see like the clubhouse. If you want to eat or drink, you can go by there. A lot of these courses, they don't incorporate the ability to go to the clubhouse. I included that because that's awesome. There's like a trail leading into the sandy area where it looks like you could take a golf cart. I hit my shot into this sandy area, hit a kind of an outstanding bunker shot. And look at this, bro. The putter was hot, bro. The putter was hot on this day. Made an up and down from a really, really hard situation. Par 5, 11th. That was such a bad swing, but I got so lucky. What you don't know about this hole is that's all deep bunkers right. So my goal was left, 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 left. Elizabeth Warren left. Bernie Sanders left. And then I hit this so good. I thought this was going to be to 4 feet. It actually came up just a tad bit short. Okay, here we go. And then this. Okay, once again, we could have objections. Oh, Lukie, you didn't do it right. Whatever. Lip out right here. And then didn't film the par, but I got the par. So whatever, dudes. Okay, here we go. Hole 12. This was another one. I'm just really trying to kill the ball, which is something I can see in the hindsight. I have no confidence with the driver in my hand. That's another thing. So hit it out here, and then this is just perfect for me pulling the ball. As you can see, double-handed Lukie. Don't want to get a sunburn because my hand burned up. And caught this slope perfectly. So it was absolutely amazing. Got the ball in the air, caught the slope. And once again, I mean, I'm inside 10 feet for another look at birdie. And these greens were, they mentally made sense to me. When I stood over putts, I just felt the speed, and that dropped. And that was a great, great feeling. 13, it might be one of the more cool holes on this course. So 13, come, hit the shot. It wasn't the greatest. I stayed left. Apparently, if you take on the right tree, you can actually get there in 2. There's like a secret line, if the locals know. Just took a 7-iron. I'd played with people prior that told me that you're probably going to hit driver, pitching wedge, pitching wedge. And I was like, okay, cool, like whatever. And I assume this is probably that hole that they spoke of. But I just took a driver, 7-iron, and then I hit this pitching wedge. And this hole, to me, is the closest I've ever felt to playing golf in Ireland because of these kind of hilly areas when we get back there. There's also a Tobacco Road logo that I had never seen, and that was really unique. I never knew that they had this signage of something that just said Tobacco Road. So this, to me, looks really like what I envision Ballybunion or Lanark, however you say it, those type of courses. Dukes, like I envision all of those to look like this. Good, safe par. Would have liked to be more aggressive. This is the par 3 that plays right next to Stewart's cabin. Really, really hard hole for me, as you will see. hit a good shot, just didn't have my range. I hate making excuses. I just didn't feel comfortable with the number. So I'm not going to show you the awful bogey that I made there, but we got the bogey. So if you're keeping track at home, that's what it is. Definitely a pulley shot out of that position off that tee box. It's kind of like, this is one of the trickier holes. I absolutely smoked that 9-iron out of the sandy area. I was so pumped. There's like no visual line you could take from there. And this is a horseshoe green. So if you ever play it, I had no idea, but I hit to the middle of the green because I couldn't see the pin, walked the course. And then this is when you know the golf gods are with you. I've got like a 70-foot horseshoe green putt, and I lag putted up there to the hole. And that is something where you're like, okay, maybe I've played a lot of bad golf in my life, but I get to have a round where I can frame the card, put it on my wall, tell myself I did it, and then guys that are vastly superior at golf than me will come through and like do it with like effortlessly, and I'll just feel inadequate. 16 is a cool shot because it's just a bunch of sandy area hazards and moguls. You don't really know where you're hitting to, but you got to try to be strategic and hit to, you got to hit over this area. There's steps that lead up there. I just hit into a fairly good spot with a 3-wood, then was in between clubs. I think it was a full pitching wedge. I tried to knock a pitching wedge down. I should never do that. And once again, visual intimidation. If you don't feel comfortable hitting shots because stuff is in front of you, this course is not for you because it's just a mental test. Once again, I hit this shot, and I was really proud of that putt, man. That's a really, really tricky putt, albeit I'm using the greens books, and yeah, in for par. So basically, I'm thinking at worst I'm going to shoot even par here, and then this was absolutely money. Hit a great gap wedge. It was just a little too much club, but I couldn't play with that front bunker. Needed just to get good scores at this point on. Look at that great polo. So I've got this. Look at that beautiful view. For me, this is just great golf. The way this course looks, the concepts. I know some people call this clown golf. I think it's really interesting golf. It's kind of like artistic renditions of golf, and I found it extremely fun. But I could see how if you don't get the ball in the air, it could be really unfun. So here's 18, and 18 is very punishing because it has that big wall. And if you can't get it over the wall, then you can actually end up below it, and you have to hit shots over that wall. So I got over. I actually thought I was going to be out of bounds, and it actually went over the trees, and that actually ends up in the fairway. Kind of caught it thin. I really wanted that to go, and it just got over that mogul, and it ran to the front of the green. And there we go. Got it up there. 3-putt. Best round of my life. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Thank you for watching this vlog. I appreciate anyone who contributes or subscribes or even likes a video. This is a passion project, and I'm just trying to do the best I can.